Hi everyone, welcome to Technical Writing with Ma'am Arian. Today we'll be talking about expository techniques, specifically comparison contrast, or what I call COM-CON. So this is the type of expository technique wherein we are allowed to point out similarities and contrast differences. So when you're writing your research reports, your progress reports, technical reports, even your book reviews and reflection papers, sometimes you are made to compare and contrast concepts. So it is important that we know how to create a comparison contrast paragraph or type of essay. So here are the technical reports that use the COMCON. First, the recommendation reports. Recommendation reports are those reports that compare and contrast people based on their credentials or qualifications. So most specifically, some HR personnel or the human resource personnel would be writing recommendation reports and make comparison contrast about people. Another is the feasibility report. So, in a feasibility report, mostly business people write these kinds of reports. They compare and contrast two or more options, what to what to adopt, what to adapt, what product or services to adopt, or some other concepts or things that they are comparing for their company or for their institution. Another is the proposal report. Our proposal report compare and contrast two or more suggestions or offers for a company's growth or solution to its current problems. Yes, if you are one of those people who would be creating a proposal report or a project proposal for something or a grant proposal, you are allowed or you are required to create comparison and contrast paragraphs. Next is the progress reports. From the word itself, progress. So it means that you will compare and contrast accomplishments of workers in a certain project. Another is that research papers, of course, I talked about this earlier. Research papers use comparison and contrast when you compare data sets, methodologies, results, samples, theories, etc. So in your high school, you were allowed to make research papers, and in those papers, it was inevitable for you to not compare data sets, methodologies, results, samples, theories, and other things. So, why is this very important for our students to know? And why do we have to give the effort in writing or knowing how to write a comparison and contrast paragraph or the COMCON? So, your essays, example, um, when your teacher lets you compare and contrast in your assignments, in your exams, in your essays, you should know how to write the comparison and contrast structure. Even in your research papers, they often demand this kind of structured thinking to break down complex ideas. Another is this is a life skill, especially when you are trying to choose things like in college, when you're trying to choose job offering, debating ideas with friends. Comparison and contrast is a good way of training your thoughts in order for you to create feasible reasons or logical systems in order for you to arrive at a certain decision or for you to be able to agree or disagree healthily. And last one, it helps you make sense of your options and explain your stance. So, comparison and contrast lets you organize your ideas in such a way that you will not be blinded as to how you arrive to a certain decision and as to how you are you are making valid reasons or valid statements for your claims. So, in a comparison and contrast, you will know that this paragraph that you are reading or that you are writing is a comparison and contrast structure because you will use discourse markers or what we call transitional or discourse devices. So, in comparing something, we are using similarly, similar to, the same as, parallel to, for, alike, both, the same, analogous to, and like. For contrasting, we have conversely, different from, not the same, opposite of, against, dissimilar, but in contrast to, contrary to, and unlike. So I want us to remember all of these discourse markers so that when we start to write our comparison and contrast paragraph, we are going to be able to have a logical, clear, concise, and a unified ideas, train of ideas. So, because of the use of discourse markers, there are two ways in how we write comparison contrast paragraph. First, we can use the alternating pattern or the point by point manner. And the second one is the opposing pattern or the block organization.